But
Okay.
should I make it back up or not?
Yes.
Fine.
Plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's what they tell you in the military. Isn't that right, Jokey?
Yeah, bird in the hands were two in the bush.
Yeah, sometimes you're the
Wait, what'd
windshield
he
and
say?
sometimes you're the bush.
Wait, what?
2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Two's more than 3.
That's a police officer thing.
Life's like a
I don't know if they say it
teeter-totter.
in the
Sometimes you're up,
military.
sometimes you're
We're a
down.
police officer, Boom.
Yep. Jesus.
You guys okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not grinding in GTA, so I'll survive for a little bit. but
I
not
closed the
long.
game just to
You
make
should
sure I
keep it
don't get
passive.
distracted.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I literally don't have any questions written down, and I have
It's
a beer.
fine. We'll wing it.
Yeah, what could
It
go
could be.
wrong?
It could be a shorter. It's fine if it's like a shorter episode. Like it doesn't have to be
Like
an hour
10
and a half.
minutes, in and out.
Right. Yeah, I got a baby to raise. And Jokee's got beers to drink, and Poner's got GTA 5 to GTA, and Boom's got a wife to husband. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
do I ever?
Yep. Got a husband, that wife, dude.
I've been trying.
How is it? Actually, you know what? We should save it for the podcast.
This is part of
what's
our
it like to be married, Pat podcast.
yeah. No, this. I consider this like part of our
intro.
Endearing yet
Scuffed.
disjointed
Scuffed
intro.
intro. All right.
Okay,
You
take
want
it
to
away,
lead it?
Candy.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll have to clear my throat. Welcome, guys, back to the 3 Stack Podcast. I'm your host, Kendrew, joined by Huge Poner and Boom Wrestle, and a very special guest, iiJokee, aka Jokee.
Hi.
No one else is gonna say hi. What the?
I was really hoping he had a beer lined up to. In fact, can we just redo the whole thing?
Jokee, get a beer. What's going on?
One moment.
So I don't know. It's been a while since we all kind of were in the same room together, boys. I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you guys been up to, Poner? You wanna take the lead on this one?
Well, we gotta redo the intro.
We're redoing the intro, really? All right.
Redo the intro, Candy.
Well, God, dude, every time we redo the intro, I get like anxiety, right? Because I'm like, shit. What if I say the Triple Stack Podcast? Oh no, is it the Triple Stack Podcast? No, wait, no, I think it's the 3 Stack Podcast, right? And I start like thinking it over. All right.
Just have sticky notes all over his screen that says 3 stack, 3 stack, 3 stack, 3 stack.
It bothers me that you don't remember this, but you know what? We out here.
I mean, it's so similar. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna start. Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, guys, welcome back to the 3 Stack Podcast. I'm your host, Kendrew, joined by Boom Wrestle and Huge Poner, and a very special guest, iiJokee. The lengths we took.
That's content, baby.
Totally not scripted.
Quick, encapsulate it. Content.
What are we talking about this week? What's on the agenda, fellas?
We don't use that word.
Oh, sorry. What's on the not an agenda?
So it's been a while since I guess the 3 or 4 of us have been together in the same Discord. Like I don't know. We've been doing our own thing. So what have you guys been up to this last week, Pony? If you want to start it off.
So I got addicted to GTA Online recently, and when I say addicted, I think I've got 5 days playtime already, and I started playing 7 days ago. So you do the math on that one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Wow. I probably get like 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and I literally wake up, I shower immediately. I think of what I've got to do in GTA Online to grind more money, and then I get online and I grind money all day until I can't stay awake anymore.
So like me being a responsible father, sure. I wake up every 2 to 3 hours throughout the night. And while I'm feeding my kid, I like browse, Instagram, Twitter, and when I make my way to Discord, I check the Amigos room, and you and Jokee are like up at like 4 or 5 a.m. just still going. crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some would call it dedication, and others would call it maybe like mental illness. I don't know what it is, but
It'd be a bit of both.
I think Jokey, you stayed up like 40 hours the first like weekend we played it. Last weekend, basically, right?
Yeah, I think we started playing Friday night. Or
Yeah.
Friday, like after. So we played Apex in the morning with Boom from like 11 to 4. And then we started playing GTA at 4 p.m. And then I'm pretty sure I played until 4 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember too.
This is disgusting.
So it's about 36 hours straight of Grand Theft
What have
Auto.
I created? I hate it how it's like kind of my fault since I told you guys I was free on Epic.
Mm-hmm.
I never played GTA 5. I don't know.
So I played it on console. Like, so the day that Xbox One came out, I played it on console. Like I literally
Why do you say it like that?
like what?
Like console.
Because I'm from the Midwest.
All right, continue.
All right, yeah, you just offended millions of people, Candy. Anyway, so the day Xbox One came out, I literally went with my roommate at the time. This is like, almost a decade ago now. And we went to Best Buy, we bought our Xbox Ones, and we bought GTA 5 with it. Came home, played it, and I played that game nonstop until I think like Battlefield 3 came out or something. I can't remember what game it was. And then I hadn't touched it since. And then when I moved into my apartment like 3 years ago, I played GTA Online for one day with one of my friends that I don't really game with anymore. And I hated it. I thought it was terrible.
What? Really?
Yeah, I hated it. I thought it was terrible. I didn't know what was going on. Like, it was just a buggy, crazy mess. But this last time, because the game was free, I didn't want to pay for it again. Because the game was free, I downloaded it. I had a bad experience because we had a bug with the tutorial when you start your new character. I almost quit right there, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go back to playing Apex, no big deal. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna stick this one out. I'm gonna try it.
Oh boy. And then
And
56 hours later.
I'm so glad I did, dude. No, dude, like I'm almost at 100 hours in 1 week.
God.
It's crazy. It's so addicting, man. I love it.
I didn't realize it was that old of a game, but yeah, it's been around for a minute, dude.
8 years now. 8 years.
It looks good. Like it aged really well.
Yeah.
The graphics and stuff. I mean, it looks great.
Absolutely. Completely agreed.
It's like The Sims, but like on a grander scale.
Like, it makes you wonder, like, GTA 6, like, what's that going to look like?
Is that even, does anyone have any, I don't even know if that's coming out.
Who knows, man?
Maybe it's coming out soon,
2023.
dude. Maybe they're just trying to, you know what it is? Sorry. Maybe they're trying to hype everyone up into the GTA franchise, get some new players in preparation.
That's my suspicion.
Yeah, in preparation for a GTA 6 announcement. I think it could be it. I don't know.
I mean, Rockstar's done a really good job keeping it relevant. I think they're down to like 10,000 average players. I have no stats to back that up whatsoever. Before the Diamond Casino came in, it had a revival. Like, so basically their model is it's out for a full year, full price console, and then it's out. Then they release it full price for PC, and it's out for a full year, full price. And then they just like went really hard into the online content, it seems like. And then it was just so funny when the casino came out. Like, I just love like the satire.
So there's gambling in
GTA.
this game?
Real gambling. You could swipe your credit card to buy in-game tokens and lose those tokens.
That sounds excellent.
It's so close. Like, it can destroy your life in such a real way.
I bet it has.
In a sense, I like that about GTA because they like practice what they preach. Like, it's so unapologetically
What do they preach?
predatory. It's kind of like the name of the game is its like thesis, is its mantra, Grand Theft Auto. It's
I
just
didn't
about
want to be sponsored by Rockstar at any point in my life anyway, so thanks for that, Boom.
Yeah, thanks, Boom.
Dude, I think that I think that would resonate with what they're trying to accomplish. At least what I've seen.
Right.
Why are there so many modders? I think that's another thing. I was talking to Jokey earlier today. I don't think that they deal too heavily with the modding and the hacking situation, because isn't that the ultimate form of Grand Theft Auto? It's just they're just doing whatever they want. They've stolen the game.
Oh my god, that's so meta. It's like
Exactly. Dude, I love some meta. And that's my
I
take.
don't know, man. I don't know if I can get to GTA 5. I almost don't want to try it. I'm kind of like a monogamous when it comes to games in a lot of ways. I don't know. It just seems like such a time suck.
What do you
It
think,
seems like
Joke?
it seems like Minecraft, but with guns, like
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah, you're usually a misogynist with games, yeah.
Thank you, Boom.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a unique game. I don't think there's many like it in the sense that like you can start playing and do anything you want to do. If you
So,
want to
like,
make money, right, exactly. I mean, like if you want to make money and progress and be able to buy cars and do things, you can do that. You can go that route. If you just want to be an asshole and just do whatever the hell you want to do, you can do that. You can just start shooting people. But I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's a fun game. I definitely think that there is a point at which you'll kind of reach a point to where you're just kind of bored. But it seems like they release content somewhat regularly, even though it's they market it as like DLC. You don't have to pay for it.
Ooh.
So I think that's definitely a plus. And then every week there's a new like list of events between different modes that you can do and bonus cash and bonus,
Basically, you're
RP.
saying this is the perfect game to play when everyone's life is on pause and no one's going to work nor going outside.
Yep.
100%.
Great.
Where do you guys think you're at in the tipping point? Because to me, Grand Theft Auto kind of it feels like an RPG where you're playing this role, and in the very like the best part of any RPG is like right in the middle where you have like a couple good items and they're so precious and your trajectory is like so great, but things aren't easy yet. You're not like playing at God mode. How far do you guys think you're at for God mode? So you're like 100 hours in. Like, how far are you away from like Jokey, I think, said earlier, like he almost has like the self-perpetuating machine of making money for himself. How far away you think you are?
Yeah, I mean, I would still say that we're 3 to 4 days of like 16 hours plus playing before you're in a comfortable state to where like you kind of have everything down packed to where you do a few things a day and you're going to make several $1,000,000, and then you can buy 1 to 2 very expensive things a day.
Yeah.
But there's so many super expensive things in the game. Like I think that like how expensive things are in the game is a bit crazy, especially when like you compare it to, I would say, like almost any other game, right? So like Fortnite or Apex, right? Like a skin is $18, but you could spend $100 in GTA and it costs, you get probably what, like 3 million tokens or something like that.
I think it's 8 million actually. Like you spend $100 real life, it converts to $8 million in the game.
Wow, that doesn't actually get you too far.
It just tells you like the economy in that game, like what it equates to. Like your time in GTA is worth something. So what was crazy to me though was Sky, the one of your avid viewers, Boom. He bought his account with like $2 billion on it off some website for $10, and it's like,
But you can do that, or is it like hacked or something? Probably.
So what I would assume happened was someone with a hack or a mod or whatever you want to call it created a new character and just gave that character a shitload of money, and then was like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna sell this account now. And they probably did that, hundreds of times. But like that for $10, that's insane. Like I like the economy of scale is just completely fucked in that game online. Honestly, like it's just like I don't know. Like when I grind the game with Jokey, right? So I've got like a cocaine business, I've got a meth business, I've got
in the game, government
in the game. And I've got like an illicit arms, the bunker is what it's called. Those are like my 3 primary sources of income right now, but they're passive.
In the
right?
game.
In the game, of course. I'll probably make like 2 million a day from that. And then the rest of the time I'm doing what's called import export, selling cars, buying cars, whatever. And you can make as much money as you want in a day. It just depends like how many times do you want to do the same thing over and over again.
Huh.
Like to get to $2 billion, I can't even imagine. It's probably like thousands of hours over multiple weeks.
Jesus.
So like for him to buy that account for $10, like I feel like whoever put
They
that
must have
account,
cracked it. Yeah.
oh yeah, it had to have been. But yeah, but it's just $10 is a steal for that. That's kind of nutty. So I feel like with all the modders in the game, and it always brings me back to like, do you want to play a game legitimately and just play it how it was intended to be played, or are you just trying to fuck around and have fun and mess with hookers and pilot military jets on day one? Like there's like 2 types of people that
I
play
feel like
GTA Online.
I mean, I don't play GTA, but like in my experience, like if I was playing a single player game, and if there was like Pokemon, for example, if there was like some cheat or something on some emulator that you could use, like it just it sucks the fun out of the gaming experience for me. Like part of playing a game for me is like that curve and like working towards something. So I don't know if I'm that archetype where like if I could, I would just start with like $1 trillion. I don't know if I would want that. But
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Like, I don't like that personally, but I understand why people would want to do that. The game,
savages.
yeah, I mean, the game it's grindy, but it's fun for me, and I think that's where Jokey is too. But like, if someone's gonna mod and drop us $1 million at the airport, like I'm fucking driving there as fast as I can, because like today I bought like a Russian military helicopter called the
Nice.
Savage. It was like $2.5 million, and it's like that's almost an entire day gaming. So like if I can get a little leg up, and
Right. But that's
buy
like
something
a little
else.
bit.
Yeah, because like there's so much shit, like Jokey was saying, like there's so much shit to buy. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, excuse me. I kind of want to I want to rewind a little bit and talk about like when we met Jokey. He's like one of the more pure gamers, alpha gamers, Chad gamers, if you will, that I've ever met.
What's his icon going to be on this podcast? Is it going to be the
It's
Gibby?
gonna be a beer can.
The beer,
the beer can. Oh, not Gibby with the stuffed animal thing.
It's going to be Jokey. No,
I think it's
sorry.
up to him, though.
It's interchangeable. It's going to be a Gibraltar holding a beer can, finishing somebody.
What do you want it to be, Joke?
Whatever's easier for you guys.
So pure.
That's why I love Joke.
It's just going to be Jokey in big bold text. That'll be very easy. No, but so like when did Poner bless us with Jokey's presence? I think it was last summer we met.
Yeah,
it was like August or September.
I'll let Jokey tell the story.
Yeah,
Please.
so it was probably like September, October. It was like probably the last week of season 3 Apex, I think.
Yep.
And I had a gaming PC before, but I didn't really use it that much. Like I literally strictly used it just for like watching YouTube videos and whatnot, like while I played Xbox. And then it just got to the point where it was like Xbox was kind of dull and it just wasn't enough. So then I was like, all right, well, I'll build a new computer and then I'll start playing again. And since Poner and I work together, he's like, oh, you should play Apex with us. It's a good time. And like we're pretty much playing almost every day. I said, all right, great. So built a new computer, started playing Apex around September, October. And I think the first day that like we all ever played together, or it may have been like the second or third day, but I ended up like starting to play at night. And then I played through the entire night until the next morning when you guys got on.
Seems to be a recurring pattern with you, Jokey. I don't know.
That's my boy. That
seems to be a recurring pattern.
And then I played the entire rest of the time, and it was like I bought the battle pass like 2 days from when the season was going to end.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
I was like a level like 15 or something, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I can get pretty close to max. and I did all the challenges and everything involved with like the battle pass, and I got up to like I don't know, like 89 or something like that
God.
in a day and a half. And I was like, all
God.
right, well, and then I slept for like 14 hours straight. And I was like, okay,
Now I rest.
right.
So for those listening, so Jokey and Poner know each other, work together. So there's that connection. So
Yeah, I've known Jokee for what, 3-4 years now.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you brought him around. We were like, "Who's this
don't.
new guy?" I vividly remember he was playing
don't.
Lifeline.
really?
Yep,
And he was disturbingly good at the game. Right off the bat, he was a natural, I would say. But Joke, what were you playing right before Apex? I feel like you have a freaking gaming pedigree.
So right before I switched over to PC and played Apex, I was playing the new Call of Duty. So I guess was it just a regular Modern Warfare?
Was it Modern Warfare?
No, it was Black Ops. It was Blackout. The one with the
Blackout.
BR.
Yeah,
Yep.
was it Black
No,
Ops?
it was the one after that. It was
That's Modern Warfare.
when did Modern Warfare come out?
Last November, October.
It might have been Blackout then.
Yeah, it was Blackout. Well,
So-
so it was Black Ops 4.
Right, yeah. So I was playing that, and it was fun, but there was a lot of like kinks that like they didn't really think of when they first released the game, and they were making improvements as it went on, but it just wasn't like really the super fun. Like it just felt like you were being punished to fight people. And
Hmm.
they finally kind of fixed it with, the like the armor plates and stuff like that. But it was just super frustrating. And then before that, I was playing Fortnite, so I played a whole bunch of Fortnite on Xbox.
Did you ever play this game called PUBG?
I have played, I would say, less than 20 games of PUBG, and they've all been on PC. I never played PUBG on Xbox.
I love PUBG.
One of them was with me.
One of them was with Boom. Yeah,
Jokey hated it.
it's-
He was miserable.
I just it was just so different. It
Love
was
that
so
game.
different than every other game that I've played.
Yeah, it's very slow.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
Also, were you playing mouse and keys?
I would switch during the game. Like,
oh boy,
because, like,
Oh, no.
there is no it is not a controller friendly game. So if I was playing with a controller, like it would just be to like pick up stuff and do things. But when you're about to fight somebody, you can't use it's not controller friendly at all. Like there's no aim assist for one, but also like the
recoil
recoil
is huge.
was insane.
Yeah.
Like I never played a game where I was just holding straight down and my gun was still going up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this.
Good
So
old
I-
PUBG.
yeah.
You know, they it makes me so sad to talk about this, but they introduced like bots to PUBG now. You guys hear about that?
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
Oh god, it's just
There's so I was watching one of Choco Taco's recent
I was watching Wacky Jackies.
yeah, so
depressing.
like he said that there's like on average when he plays solos, there's on average like 20 bots in a lobby, and it's like that's so fucked. Because one of his latest YouTube videos, he saw a player or what he thought was a player. It turned out to be a bot. He shot at the bot who was just like out in the middle of nowhere near a facility, and then an actual player was in a building adjacent to his and returned fire on Choco Taco. So he was like,
accosted him. Yeah.
well, I mean, he killed him because he's Choco Taco. The guy's insane at PUBG. But like he was saying, like that's why I don't like bots, because like the bot will force me to shoot at him, and it exposes my position to an actual player who then has an advantage on me. And I completely understand that. But I mean, it's
Why did
just
they do that?
no one's playing the game anymore. Like PUBG's like 4 years old now. It's I hate to say the word, but like it's a dying game, and I think everyone acknowledges that, and only the most like dedicated PUBG players are still in it.
So I kind of saw I don't want to say I called this because I definitely didn't call it happening this badly, but I remember like also like 2-3 years ago, like back when PUBG was still getting decent number of players playing it, but like I couldn't help but notice that like the peaks on Steam charts, like when it would hit 1 million or over 1 million, it was during like Chinese prime time, like basically middle of the day US.
Yep.
And then I took a look at some stats or whatever. I forget what website it was, but basically like most of the player base was in China.
And they played third party.
They
Or
played
third
person.
Yep.
Third party. Third person.
They also
yeah.
played third party. Don't we all? Don't we all?
I heard PUBG Mobile is like pretty popular though.
It's really popular in like the Middle East and in Asia.
Yeah.
Like people will literally have like peripheral
There's an
devices.
esports. There's an esports thing.
Yeah.
There's
they
a
have
big scene.
tournaments.
I think it's bigger than PC PUBG, honestly.
Like there was a tournament in Turkey last year, I think, for PUBG Mobile, and it was like all these players with mouse keyboard, but they're connected to a smartphone, and they just look at their little smartphone.
What?
It's crazy. Yeah, dude. I swear that's the thing.
That was the rule
That is the
set?
thing.
You can use the mouse and
No,
keyboard?
that's not the rule set. It was like a remote tournament.
Okay.
But like all those like high-end mobile players, they play a mouse keyboard on their mobile phone.
No.
Yes. Yeah, look it up. It's a true thing.
That's wild.
Mhm.
I would think that if you're a mobile player, you should like embrace it and just use use your fingers or whatever they do. I don't know.
The weirdest thing about it too is like the mobile game seems more fluid and less buggy than the PC version.
I don't know, dude. I played some of the mobile game last September, and I don't know if I was into it. It was clearly a downgrade from the PC version, in my opinion.
The graphics certainly, but I think some of like the latency might be comparable, if
Just
not
like-
better.
It just didn't look good, and it felt like the animations were very like dumbed down. It just felt kind of, I don't know, just wasn't it. In my
But
opinion.
it always seems like mobile's ahead of PC in terms of like skins and customizations and like there's a lot of really cool shit on mobile that doesn't exist on PC to this day, and it's like,
But I
really?
think it's because mobile is so accessible, and nowadays it's so
Yeah.
easy to tie your payment information to a phone, and everyone has a phone. Not everyone
Yeah.
has, So I think that's just where the market is. So that's where people are, the companies see that like everyone's playing this game
Oh, absolutely.
on their
Like,
phones. Yeah,
Yeah, no denying that. That's absolutely a fact.
probably just pouring more resources there.
Yeah, exactly. Back on track though.
Oh yeah.
So Jokey, Fortnite, you were playing that, then you switched to COD. I think it was, like you said, like September when I was like, hey, we're playing Apex all the time. We're pretty good. Like you should
We're pretty good, and Jokey's
Jump-
like the best player.
yeah, you should jump the shark and come in with us, right?
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
No, I mean it's
Yeah.
like you had mentioned, like like we're always playing, and like we're pretty good at the game. You should come and try it. And I was like, all right, sweet. And I remember playing Apex like when it first came out, and I played on console. And man, probably like a month ago or 2 months ago, I logged back into my console and looked at like what my stats were. And unfortunately, the character that I had the most kills on was Caustic, which just hurt my soul. It just hurt me deep down on the
It
inside.
all comes around, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's definitely a different game. I think that across all the battle royales that have kind of come out within the last, 3 to 5 years, I definitely think Apex has the best movement, the best just gunplay, as to where like
And the best
Fortnite-
people. Best people.
and so I will say that for the PC community. I won't necessarily say that for the Xbox community.
Okay.
Console gamers seem to be very toxic just across the board. Like when I used to play
Gross.
Call of Duty, like if you killed somebody or you did really well in a game, you're getting a message. Somebody's going to send you a message.
You're getting a message.
It's going to happen. They will just send you a message, just shit talking you, and like you didn't do any, like you didn't say anything.
Wild.
And that's just how they are.
Yep.
That's where like PC, like I mean, like here and there, right? Like somebody will be upset, and like if they're streaming or whatnot, like like they may say something about you, but they're not going out of their way to send you a message. Console kids will 100% go out of their way to send you a message, whether it's Fortnite, whether it's Call of Duty, they 100% will.
That was my experience playing console too. Like when I used to play Black Ops 2, and I would just pop off and I'd go nuclear or I'd get a Moab in Modern Warfare 3, like someone would say something to me and be like, "Oh yeah, you're just gonna camp with your P90 and that's how you're gonna get a Moab every game? Cool." Like, okay, dude. It's just the most
Jeez.
toxic experience. And that's part of the reason why, like, one of my friends that I also used to work with, he's the reason why I'm on PC still. And he was like, dude, if you got the money to spend, like, let's build you a PC. Like, you'll never look back. And I thought he was crazy because I was playing Destiny at the time and Destiny wasn't on PC yet. And that's actually how I met Boom and Chaka. Was because of PUBG.
No, you
And
didn't need Chaka though in real
well,
life.
I knew Chaka, but I only started gaming with Chaka because of PUBG. We were at a poker game together in real life once, and I showed him this clip I got of me like quick scoping some dude who was like trying to run me over in a dacha, and he was like, "Oh, you play PUBG on PC?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, like I love this game. It's really fun." He's like, "Yeah, I play too," and he had already, I think, met Boom by then.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I remember when Poner came around.
Who's this guy?
Yes. Wow. What a trip down memory lane. Because I remember like the first time that I reached out to Poner or he reached out to play with me. And you know, it's always a little bit weird when you play with the
Yep.
acquaintance of the mutual friend. I think I went through something probably similar with Jokee. But at that point, like this is years ago. So I'm just like a much more mature person, confident gamer, comfortable in my own skin. So I think with Jokee, it doesn't stand out as much because like I'm more comfortable talking to strangers now. But what I remember with Poner, it was like, oh, you're Chaka's friend. Like you want to play a game? Okay, we can like get a few. And that way, you know, if it's weird, we could both like leave right away. But we had a great time and obviously blossomed into a great friendship. But yeah, I really vividly remember how like embarrassed I was to like play with like an acquaintance, not like to play with you, but like I was like self-conscious about myself, like not having my comfortable friend and playing with the new friend.
Yeah, and correct me if you disagree, please. But like back then, like I was like the group's shroud in PUBG.
Oh yeah.
It's
like,
because
oh,
I
Poner?
remember
the jokes were like you can go back in any candy video from PUBG. It's always like, Poner, you mean our best PUBG player?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that was also like Boom had like a really terrible PC at the time. Like I remember one of my favorite duos games with Boom was he like we were running through, it was on Sandhawk and he DC'd, and he used to DC like once out of every 5 games because his
Oh my
PC would just
God.
take a shit. And I was like, okay, like I went and I grabbed him a buggy and I left the buggy by his body because I was like, you can reconnect. There's a buggy next to you. I left a couple meds next to your body. Like,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
go try to win this game real quick for us. And he was unable to reconnect, and I still won the game by myself. And I was just like sweating bullets the whole time because that was when we tried to do our top 10 NA run. And
yeah.
it worked out, man. Like,
What was the
those-
peak on that?
what was the peak? What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, what you guys? Oh, you say it's the top 10 NA duo thing, but what do you guys peak at?
Boom hit number 1 because he was able to get home from work before I was, and he played some games of Chaka, so like he got a little head start on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hit number 7 or 6, I think, in NA on duos.
Yep.
And then after that point, like the season reset shortly thereafter, or whatever they were doing back then. I don't even think it was before they had seasons.
Dang.
But yeah, we hit top 10, and that was like our goal. Like we're on the leaderboard. Like suck it, bitches.
It was wild. It was just
Yeah.
wild.
What a
That's
ride.
another era. I miss those days.
Oh, me
Same.
too. Me too.
Nothing quite like it.
So what do you think about like the current state of Apex right now, Joke? What's your take on it?
I think that they have 2 ranked modes.
Yeah.
Been there for a bit, Jokey.
I think that so I like what they have done with Kings Canyon. When I first started playing, I hated it. Like worst map in the world. It was just too small.
That's because you were
getting
born
third-partied.
on World's Edge.
Yeah, I mean, I played Kings Canyon for like 3 days, so I knew it a little bit. But then like World's Edge was just it felt like you could fight and then regroup and then fight again. as to where World's Edge or King's Canyon was just fight, and you just really had to not take damage during a fight to be able to counter the next team. I think that like the ranked scene obviously is very sweaty, but it feels very third party-ish, as I'm sure it is every season. But I just feel like they're missing a division. Like Diamond doesn't exist.
Yep.
There's plat players and then there's master players. I just feel like Diamond does not exist.
I don't think there's enough players in the upper echelon, right? Like you got to start because otherwise it's gonna be like 30-minute queues for these Preds and Masters to play against each other.
Yeah, I mean, so I've never played like League of Legends, but I've like tuned into a handful of streams, not many, but I've seen them queue for 30 minutes to an hour to get into a game that matches their skill rating.
That's how it was with Overwatch back in the day when I played it. There's there's I think there's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, top 500. And I never felt like I was playing against someone in grandmaster when I was playing in diamond. So I don't know what they do, but there's clearly a bit more of a gradient. But with Apex, it's just like diamond, and I guess to some extent platinum is the same lobby as Pred and Master.
Agreed.
Yeah, something's different from this ranked season than last. So the last ranked games we played last week before we got on this GTA kick, we hit Diamond 3, and we were still going up against golds, and it's like, what? Like, why are we fighting golds? Why are silvers and plats being in a Diamond 3 lobby? And then every once in a while we'd have like one like top 10, literally top 10 pred team. Like
Yeah.
we fought. I've probably been in gunfights in Apex with all of the top 20 predators that currently exist right now. So like Fun FPS, Kine, Imperial Hal, Daltouche, like all those guys get into our Diamond 3 games, but they also bring in like golds into their lobbies too, because we're fighting golds in those games. So
maybe
like,
not enough people are playing ranked. So
yeah,
you have to open it up.
Exactly. I think that's where it's at, because like we've noticed like our queue time will hit about the 5-minute point, and then it says like, there's 24 people in the queue, and then Apex just randomly starts a game, and you're like, whoa, okay, like the lobby filled up really quick. I don't think that's what's happening. I think what's happening is like, okay, like you've waited long enough. There's not enough players, so we're combining all the ranked leagues right now.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's really, really shitty to all like the players who they're not even remotely near our skill set. And you can tell when you're in a gunfight and it's like, okay, these are gold players. Like we're gonna steamroll them. Like they're wasting their time. And I think that's gonna exacerbate ranked. And that's part of the reason why like I don't really have this huge drive to play anymore like I used to.
Yeah. It's like who can farm golds or plats the most.
Yeah, like honestly, like, and I can get flamed for this for saying it, but I don't care. Like top 500 pred means shit anymore. It really doesn't. Like I'm not impressed by anybody that's doing this right now, because it's just a time sink. It's who can play the longest in a day.
That's a huge time investment.
Yeah, and it's not hard to climb through master to hit pred. It's just like, am I going to be on for longer than all these other guys that are putting 12 plus hours into it? And we don't have 12 plus hours to put into it, nor do we care to. So like, I don't know, like if the rank scene was like it was last series, where D3 plus was hard capped, you're not fighting anyone below you, you're only fighting people ahead of you, I would be down. But it's just I don't know. It's just something's different, and with the temporary rewards on top of it, I don't care anymore. And I hate
the
to
rewards
say
aren't
it.
that great.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay, well, we can play pubs, and it's like, cool, but I'm just playing pubs just to play pubs. It's not like I get anything out of it.
Right.
And we've already got all the badges. We've already got, like.
Well, I'm still missing the 4K damage badge
On your Loba, you got 4K cost. Jesus, someone's needy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I don't feel it. But that's just me. Maybe other people disagree. It's whatever.
Boom, what do you think?
It's funny how it's turned on its head, the casual versus ranked modes. So like you have ranked, and then some people to call it like ranked light for casual. And the problem with casual is the skill based, but it seems like this season it's like the inversion of skill based. So like I'm hearing a lot of people who are on gold and platinum not having a good time because they're being put into the predator lobbies. And I'm just not sure why that is. Um, it's problematic. I think the two most important things to me that would resolve the problem, and unfortunately, one of them is combining console with PC, like just bring the player base together under one umbrella. And I'm pretty sure Respawn said that that's not something that they're working on. So that's just a pipe dream. And then the other, maybe we can get into that later, but that's my belief that it would be good to bring it together. But also I think that they're really missing an opportunity with incentives. I think the rewards are super lame. They should maybe just take a step back from trails. That's not the only way that you can express yourself. I always compare it to Rocket League, but even if you're the worst player in Rocket League, if you play a couple bronze games, you'll get the reward for bronze all the way through the top rank. And some people prefer based on, there's just so many cosmetics. Some people build an aesthetic, and turns out that actually this thing that I got because I was in silver goes really well with this outfit that I built. So they should be doing, what if this ranked series there was a red dot and it like had a, if it was bronze, it was just like, a lame little notch, but all the way up until predator, where it's like this really cool like insignia on it or something, or engraving. They could just ramp up the detail. So yeah, I think, man, why imagine being in plat right now? Like, why would you do it? Like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, because if you're having a hard time, you're not going to get through diamond. And then once you reach diamond, you're not going to get a reward. It's like, why be cannon fodder for the pros? Like, go play casual. I mean, it just sucks. So that's why. And then it's creating another problem where bronze is becoming toxic, because it's just people creating Smurf accounts so that they can like chase that high of feeling like they're good at the game. It's really twisted right now. What were you thinking about combining console and PC? Do you have like a con that I haven't considered?
Who are you asking?
Jokee's got a strong opinion on this that has really kind of opened my eyes to the concept. If you want to elaborate, Joke.
Yeah, so I think that like there's a lot of top tier console players playing Apex that can definitely compete with the top tier PC players. But I think that similar to how they did it with the last Call of Duty, where they made specific game modes, you had to play cross platform. At first, I wasn't really a fan of it, but Call of Duty did have some kind of skill based working. So it never felt like it was like unachievable to fight whoever you were fighting. So I think that if they were to open up cross platform, if they made ranked a requirement that if you wanted to play ranked, you were playing cross platform, I think that that would fix a lot of the issues that they had with just straight like player based problems, right? I mean, like there's no diamond rank right now. And if you nearly triple.
But do you think that's a band-aid though? Like a band-aid solution? Because I don't know. I feel like if they introduce cross-platform but don't improve the rewards and don't improve like matchmaking and how all that works, and doesn't make ranked feel good to play and rewarding to play, then the same problem is going to happen. People are still going to stop playing ranked over time, and within a year or 6 months, they're going to be back at square one. No, or
I think that it will definitely help with the player base portion and like the matchmaking situation, because if you add now I'm just making up numbers here, but let's say there's 20,000 players playing Apex ranked, but then you split those across the roughly 4 to 5 different regions that we think are matchmaking together, like East Coast, West Coast, Europe, and then there's like 2 others somewhere. that are all being matched together.
Right.
If you open that up to console, now you're probably going to triple it, and maybe the matchmaking is easier. Maybe the queues are shorter. You get better quality games for people in plat and diamond, and you can potentially fill an entire master/pred lobby with masters and preds.
Yep.
So I don't see how it could hurt doing it, but I definitely think that there's other things that needs to be made to encourage people to play ranked. I do agree that ranked rewards should be permanent, right? Like I get what they're doing, but I don't think it's the right path, because it really just takes away like me wanting to play the game. Okay, great. I can put this trail on for the next season. I can put this charm on, but realistically,
gone,
like,
yeah.
what's the point, right? Like, all right, great. I just wait till next season and I'll play, and then I'll
Well,
get
plus
another trail.
they already have the permanent rewards from the first 2 ranked series, which we all hit pred in. So it's like everyone who hit pred in ranked series 1 and ranked series 2 runs those pred trails for the most part. Like I've been running the master trail this series just because it's cool.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It looks nice, but like, is it worth playing ranked anymore? I don't know. If you're not doing it for clout, like I get it, like the pros and the content creators who are making a living off of it, yeah, it makes sense to do it, and I understand why they're doing it. But for like normal players, it makes zero sense. Like, why would you put yourself through this? And I've also one thing that I've noticed with Apex, which is far more different than like PUBG, which had its own internal ranking system. I've never fought more super popular, like well-known streamers with thousands of people in their stream in a single day than in my entire career playing PUBG. I still to this day remember when I fought Shroud in PUBG, when I fought Mr. Grims in PUBG. It was like, holy fuck, like there's a celebrity in my lobby. I have to go fight this person. Like that's I have to do this. This is my calling. And like that was memorable, but like nowadays it's just like, oh yeah, cool. It's Hal Deltouche and some other guy
And
who
Johnny or
are
whatever.
in one squad together. Like, yeah, they're farming the lobby. Cool. Again, like they were in our last game. It's not cool anymore. Like there's nothing like, wow, like let's go check out their stream and see what it was like to fight us after they killed us. Like it's just like it's become like a boring, repetitive, just not fun experience for a lot of people, and I
Well,
and
well,
I
yeah.
feel that like
When I played ranked a little bit,
Mhm.
like it just seemed like at any given time there was probably only like 2 to 3 queues of players like just cycling through each other for
Yes,
pred lobbies. It was just like we kept getting games with the same people, the same groups of people. It just seemed like like if you lost like or like depending on when you lost or when you won, you have a very good chance of catching the next queue of the exact same people from
yep.
the same lobby. You know?
I mean, it was like that last series too, but it's even more like that this series, I feel like,
Yeah.
which is really strange. And it tells me because it's still like that, but there's golds and plats and low level diamonds in the games. There's even less people playing ranked right now than there were the previous seasons.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know.
there's some sort of weird problem with player base or player retention that I think Respawn's not being open about. Um, and they're trying to rectify it behind the scenes with how they do matchmaking. It's unfortunate, but it is what it
Do you
is.
guys mind SBMM? Because personally, like I know a lot of people will probably say like, "Oh, Candy, it's because you 3 stack in pubs," hence our podcast name. But honestly, like even when I solo in duos
Shots
or
fired.
trios, like I don't know. I guess maybe my expectations are like super super low. I don't give a shit if I win or lose. I'm just like, dude, I'm just playing just to play. I mean, especially if I'm streaming, like I don't care, dude. I'm talking to chat half the time. So like maybe I don't know. Maybe like I'm a bit more like immune to SBMM because of those 2 factors. Like, yeah, I do play with friends, you and Boom and Jokey, whoever. But at the same time, I also don't care too much about winning or losing.
What do you think, Boom?
Yeah, what's your opinion?
I think skill based is probably a good thing for the game. Like it's frustrating playing ranked light, but yeah, I mean I think you're delusional if you think that like you just want to be like luck of the draw and oh I'm in a bot lobby so I can like do really well because relative other people are just trying to learn the game. Like that's
Yeah.
somebody is getting the short end of the stick. That's how it is in battle royales, and I think that Apex is walking a tightrope with the shortness of their games. Everybody needs to have fun playing the game. The person that got last place, well, maybe not them, but the person that got 19th place should probably have had a little bit of fun. The person who had first place shouldn't be the only one having fun.
Right.
And PUBG, and I think to an extent Fortnite as well, like these really big maps, these kind of longer form battle royale games where it feels more like surviving, and the choices could be more like, should I fight or should I not fight? Whereas in Apex, it's these small maps. It's kind of go, go, go. It feels a little bit more
arcade
like,
almost. Yeah.
Yeah. Like kind of like a Call of Duty, like you just drop and kill. That's why, so many people are dropping at these high dense loot areas.
Yep.
And I think that they, it's difficult for them to make the game enjoyable for everyone. I think skill based helps with that, because I can definitely tell you that it's got to be not fun for people who are trying to learn the game to suddenly be killed by people who are just way more experienced. So it needs to be in the game to a certain degree. And if that causes more people to 3-stack, because it's so difficult in casual. So it's unfortunate that I feel like I can't relax too much, or else there's just going to be a team trying harder than me that could just demolish me and my team who's not communicating, and we're all just doing our own thing. But I think overall it's good, and it's important for the game to be fun for everyone.
Respawn must have like numbers and metrics, dude. Like, I don't know. I see a bunch of content creators, not just in Apex, but like in like other games like Fortnite or whatever. Does Modern Warfare have shoot, it's blanking on me. What am I saying? The Call of Duty, the
Warzone.
Warzone, thank you. Does Warzone have SBMM? I think it might.
Yep, it does.
They do. Jack Frags actually just did an interesting video on how I believe the result of his little mini study he did is that if you play on controller on PC, you're more likely to be put into a console lobby. But I don't know if that, how that plays into skill based.
Well, my point was, I see like a lot of content creators kind of like, like voicing their complaints about SBMM, how awful it is. But I mean, there's got to be like the raw data must show, like for at least Respawn, that SBMM is working and keeping like players. I have a feeling it's one of those cases where like the majority of the player base doesn't mind SBMM because, they may just be casual players who hop on, after work, or on the weekend and just want to play some games and not get shit stomped by, predator parties or anything.
Yep.
So I think in the grand scheme of things, sure, like maybe, it's gonna be a little tougher for content creators like me to like, get a 20 bomb badge or whatever. But I don't know. I just think I'm fine with paying that price if it means the game that we play is healthy and retains the player base. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean,
like, I don't think it's all about me or any content creator.
Right. From my experience, playing pubs solo in trios, when I play pubs, I get matched with really low level, just terrible, terrible teammates. So for me, it feels like I'm playing in this squad and I'm hurting cats, and I'm trying to get them to do like what we need to do based on my personal experience and my personal opinion on the situation. Right. And it just never works out that way. Like it's really difficult. And then what usually happens is one of them gets down and they just leave. And that's because like they don't care. And I understand that. So for me, it's frustrating. I don't even play solo pubs anymore. I can't do it. Like I don't care. I'm not trying to stream the game anymore. I'm not trying to make YouTube content. Solo pubbing. I can see that. God bless all the people who do that day in, day out right now. not fucking me. I'm not doing it. And there's some games where like I do that 3 games in a row, and on the 3rd game I get 10 plus kills, and maybe we win or we get 2nd or 3rd place, whatever. And it's like I had a really good game, sure, but I can feel that skill-based matchmaking is terrible if you're trying to play Apex all day, every day, especially if you're trying to make content out of it. So I understand why people get upset about that, but that's why I think people should be playing ranked. Um, if you're that good where you're trying to make content out of it, like you should be playing ranked. But
Mm.
conversely, too, because ranked is so fucked right now, my
Nowhere to go.
my suggestion would be if you've already got skill based matchmaking in pubs and you've got a ranked series on top of that, just combine them. Like you don't need both. I don't understand why they've got both at this point. Like
Mm.
when you play Apex, you should be assigned a ranked like your own internal rank by yourself, you know? Um that was how PUBG did it. That's how other BRs have done it, where you do well, you perform well consistently, you go up a rank. And I think that's why like when I played PUBG, it was rare that I ran into like a really really good streamer and content creator, and why in Apex I could literally log in right now and I'll be, in the kill feed of someone's stream who's got 2,000 people in his chat right now.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why they need to have them diverse, but I mean, it is what
I
it is.
get I get you like not liking people like leaving the matches and stuff like that's totally a valid thing. And maybe you're right. Maybe they should I don't know, maybe they should look into like punishing people who leave matches like how they do with ranked.
They supposedly do, yeah.
Yeah, or like a hard like, hey, you can't queue up for
You
another match
timed
for
out,
for 10 minutes or whatever. I think that
right?
might be good. But I don't know, dude. Like since you guys been playing GTA, there's been a few days where I just play solo, or for stream I just play solo, and maybe this is because I'm creating content, so like I have like things, objectives I need to do besides just having like a win, or um I don't know, like I could just talk to chat. So like maybe I'm like like it's hiding this miserable experience for me. But like I honestly had a decent time soloing duos or trios this week. Like I got, like not it wasn't like a lot of wins like I would with you guys, but it was like, one or two here and there. Um Generally a decent experience. Actually my teammates recently have been pretty nice, but there have been stretches 100% where it was just like game after game. Like you said, it was like nailing jello to a tree or something. And like people will leave, And so I do get, I get that side. But strangely, this last week hasn't been that bad as far as the solo queue experience, at least for me. I don't know.
Do you have to disclose that you're sponsored?
Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored. Convenient. No, I don't know, man. Like, I guess it's too. I guess in my opinion too, it's like if you're a content creator and you want to have a group of friends to play with, like maybe it's gonna sound stupid, but like I don't think it's that hard to make friends. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, I
like
don't
you
get the whole "you shouldn't 3-second pubs" mentality either. Like, that's like, if you actually think that, if you think that's bad, you're dumb.
no dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's crazy. I think it's worse to see full on like they'll just turn around and like be playing with literally the top players in the world in ranked,
yeah,
just farming
shitting on
children.
people. They're like,
It's
okay,
that's
there's no
so
good teams
much
in here, we
worse.
won. Yeah, it's literally the same fucking thing. Literally the same fucking thing.
Except they're playing for keeps.
Yeah, except for they're killing the ranked scene. Like, they're literally doing what they're accusing other people of doing, which is crazy to me.
Well, my point was that if if people don't like solo queuing, I really don't think it's that hard to make friends in this game. Like honestly,
No,
like
I've done it on my alt accounts. Like, I've got friends on my alt accounts that invite me every time I log in.
there's
I
tons
love
of
playing with them.
yeah, and this I mean, sure I get recognized, like a fair amount in Apex, but like there are times when people who don't recognize me and they turn out to be really chill people. matter of fact, like this whole friend group, like you guys weren't streamers or content creators when I met y'all. It was like Boom and Shaka were in a PUBG game. I was solo queuing in PUBG duos, and I think Chalk or Boom killed my random duo, and I like it was like it had proximity chat. So I was like, hey guys, you guys want to let me go? And like became a cool friendship. And honestly, like before you guys, I made friends with randoms all the time in Overwatch and Dirty Bomb and like I don't know, man. I just I guess when content creators, and I'm not like, this is not like a diss or anything, but whenever they're like, oh man, like it's so hard finding other content creators to play with, I'm like, dude, then fuck them, dude. Just make your own friends. That's what I did when I was growing, like I don't know, like I consider you guys like my closest online friends, or maybe my closest friends in general, because I don't get out that much and I don't have that many real life friends.
I feel that.
Like, and you guys, it's not like we met at TwitchCon or something, or we did a collab together on a YouTube video. We literally met randomly in game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean, and I don't want to say you guys aren't unique and special, because you guys are unique and special, but like that happening is not unique or special. You know what I mean? Like I've met tons of people and and who are all cool and chill just as randoms in games. So I don't know. Tangent over.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Jokey? What's your feeling on the
what's your take,
skill-based
Jokes?
rank thing and all that?
Yeah, Jokey, tell us.
Tell us,
Yeah.
Jokey.
Yeah, Jokey, please.
Please tell us, Papa.
Daddy.
Dada.
I get it, right? I mean, it can definitely be frustrating playing solo pubs, because I do agree that the skill-based, at times it feels like it's just taking skill-based, whatever your ranking is. I assume there's a number or a tier rank on you as a player, and then there's a number or tier based on a team that you're playing against. And then if you're solo queuing, it takes your skill-based number, and that's it. And it just says anybody else who wants to play.
Yeah.
And it can put very bad teammates on your team. And it's pubs, and I get it. Like, sure, that's fine. But it becomes very frustrating very quickly when you fight a team. Typically, you win the first fight, and then your teammates are there just kind of looting for a minute.
That does
or 2
happen.
minutes. And I guess the counter to that is stay near your team. But like, we're just in this mentality of like loot and leave, like loot the bodies, take what you need and go. But then like you did that and you left, and now it's 45 seconds later and they're still at the bodies, and now there's a team that's rolling in on them because they didn't leave.
Mhm.
So I think that like that part of it, it's just frustrating playing with skill based. But I do think it's a good thing overall in the game, because there are definitely teams that like we will fight, and you can like you just know that like they don't know what they're doing, right? Like in the nicest way
that's right.
possible. Like they're just new to the game, or just they're not as good, and it wasn't even a fight. Like it was just 3 people that we shot at and they died. So I'm not fully opposed to skill based, but I think that it just needs to be refined in a sense that makes it fun for all parties involved. But I don't know. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it can get frustrating, and you just kind of have to try to adapt. I do think it should exist in the game, but I think they just have to balance it a little bit better.
I
And
would
whether
say. Sorry, go ahead.
and like whether that's based on the amount of players in your party. If you're solo queuing, it doesn't matter how good or bad. Well, if your teammates are very bad, but you're playing against a 3 stack of relatively good players, they can kill you with ease
Yep.
because they can talk to each other. And sure, the argument like, yeah, well, you could talk to your teammates too, but like, I'm on controller. I'm not going to take my hand off the controller and press a button to talk to my teammates. I'm also not going to play with an open mic.
Right.
So it's like I can just ping. So there's still an advantage with voice chat, but I think that the balance with skill-based has to come in with the amount of players in your party. And like I think that like one of the Call of Duties that I played had like a solo queue list where it was 12 players and they all solo queued.
That'd be nice.
And it felt fair. Like there weren't many games that I would have above a 3.0 KD after the game because it's people with my same skill all playing together. And there was
I miss solo queue, man.
That's why I think solos is something that they're really sleeping on. Like
they said it fucked over the player retention.
I don't like you still gave people the option to not play solos though. Like I don't understand why duos is okay and trios is okay and ranked is okay and a limited time mode event is also okay on top of all that, but not solos. Because
solos was so fun.
If solos was in Apex, I wouldn't be playing GTA Online right now. I can promise you that. I would be playing solos when I wanted to. And then when you guys were on, I'd play either duos or trios. And then if we wanted to play ranked, I'd be playing ranked. But like just right now, like nope. It's just not for me. I need something different. You know, I need something that's a little bit more chill. I can play at my own leisure. And that's what GTA Online is giving me right now that like Apex solos could give me, where I can choose to play and get 3 kills and play at my leisure and maybe win a game or maybe like, you know, take top 10, whatever. And I wouldn't care. Like it would just be chill. If I want to have a chill game, I can land by myself and, you know, BFE water treatment way outside the plane path. I think that's where a lot of players are too. Cause like when you play like bronze or silver on an alt account, like that's how people play. They just land super far away. They avoid conflict, and they say, you know, they'll chat, stay close, and it's like okay, and they just play really passively, and that's where a lot of players are. Like it's a BR. You're not supposed to. It's like Apex Legends is trying to be a fast-paced arena shooter, like an arcade game, but it's a BR, and you have one life, and when you die, you die. You know, as a squad at least. That's why, yeah, I don't know. It's trying to be something that it's not designed to be, and it's like they're artificially forcing themselves to, like, behind the scenes, alter how the game is matchmaking people.
Yeah, I think my like approach to Apex has kind of shifted, anyways. Like, maybe it's because I do it for like a living and shit, but like, it's like, you know, it should be told like I don't play Apex to like relax, or you know, especially with you guys not playing Apex as much, especially this last week or two. Like, I play Apex for work. Not saying I don't like playing Apex. I love playing Apex, but like if it's 9 p.m. And I have some free time, like I've been loading up single player games. I played through Doom, and that was really really fun. I'm playing through Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, also made by Respawn. Hashtag ads, hashtag sponsored. Just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm not sponsored. But it's lots of fun. Like I'm enjoying just relaxing and playing that. I don't relax to play Apex anymore. I don't know if it's because of SBMM or because I just been playing this game for over a year now or whatever. But like I've been doing other stuff. I'm playing playing Pokemon on my little 3DS. I just been doing other stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, honestly. Like
I didn't think of it that way.
Nah, like it's depressing because I feel like Apex outside of PUBG is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Like, and I can honestly say that. I love the game, but they've made decisions recently that have just like not been transparent, it feels like. And the ranked matchmaking was like kind of like the straw that broke my back. Where I was
really?
like,
I didn't know you felt this way about Apex. I mean, I think it's in a great state right now.
I think it's in a. I think it was in a great state when the season first came out, but we're in season 5. The game's getting kind of old. I think a lot of people have already turned away from it, and
I don't know, dude.
Being in like Diamond Plus and trying to play ranked right now is like, it's just miserable. I don't know how else to describe it. It's weird.
I don't know, dude. I mean, it might just be your unique position, but I mean, I think this last season has been really good. Like, EA recently published some study or whatever. They put out the numbers for Apex, and apparently, according to their numbers, like season 5 has been the most like successful season as far as like player
I
retention.
believe it. I believe it, but not for someone like me that's like
Right.
trying to play ranked, but I'm not a pro and I don't play for a comp team and I'm not friends with a million pros who can also like just hop on whenever.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it, we're in a a unique position in my opinion where we're good enough to fight pros and do well. Like we, I would say, I don't know. I would say like 2 out of 5 engagements we have with like an actual pro team, we win, and
That's pretty good.
that feels really good. Yeah, like I'm not
40%.
scared when I see people in the kill feed that I recognize right away anymore. Like I used to be like when we were playing ranked in series 3 and we were or season 3, sorry, and we were literally trying to avoid them because we knew that they'll kill us if we're too close to them. Nowadays, just like okay, like if they push us, like just play smart, play together, call out your shots, like target fire the Wraith, target fire the Pathfinder, whatever it is. Um, but it's like you've got those guys in there, which is fine. Um, but then you got all these like golds and plats in there too, and it's not rewarding. I can't tell you how many ranked games we gained 1,000 RP in 3 hours last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it
Good
was.
God.
And we hit Diamond 3. We started the day out. We were all Plat 1. We hit Diamond 3 in literally 3 hours. And I was like, is this going to keep happening? And then we started playing Diamond 3 and it kept happening. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything that's like rewarding. And then every once in a while we'd run into like a full pred stack of like pro teams or pro players rather. And
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't feel rewarded at all anymore. I don't know what it is. I think Apex is just like I don't know.
On to
I just
GTA 5.
yeah. I mean, like I think I just need like a mental break from it for like another week or so, and then I'll come back to it and I'll be like, fuck yeah, like I'm back. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's where Jokey is too. I don't know, like because like Jokey was having a hard time wanting to play rank too, right, Joke?
Yeah, I mean it's like sometimes it just gets frustrating, but it's also kind of like a compliment when like you're playing against the top players in the game. And it's like we're obviously not at that skill level, but we're playing against them, which is cool. But unlike any other game that I've ever played where you pull up Twitch and you filter by viewers and the top 20 players or the 20 streamers, they're all in your game.
Yep.
And it's like that doesn't happen in any other game that I've ever played.
Literally never before.
So
But do you think that's a bad thing? Just because it just
It's
shows
terrible.
how small the ranked queues are, right? Like, I don't know. That doesn't sound very good. That does not sound like a fun time.
yeah, and I think that that's where it just kind of comes back to the issue with the player base for ranked. There's just not enough players playing ranked, and that's why they're opening up the queues to lower divisions where you're seeing golds and plats make it into a diamond slash master slash pred lobby. That shouldn't happen in a competitive scene, right? I mean, like it should be a ranked experience. You should be playing somebody that is equal your skill, or at least somewhat equal your skill, so that way you can progress and get better, as opposed to playing against somebody who has 2,000, 3,000 plus hours in one game and is very good at the game, to where you're not going to gain. Like me playing, Hal, I'm not going to get better playing him. The skill gap is too large. He is that much better than me, right? And like I'm okay with like accepting that because he like that's what he does for a living. I don't
He's
do
like
that for a
19.
living.
It's crazy. He's like a kid.
Right, and he's great at the game, and he
Yeah.
plays a good amount of time. But like, I'm not going to gain anything playing against him because the skill gap is too large. So it has to be a way that they can figure out the skill based, and maybe that's why they did it with pubs, to where in pubs you're playing people who are within your skill base, maybe slightly better than you. but also slightly worse than you, to where you're getting more meaningful engagements to get better at the game to kind of prepare you for ranked. And maybe that's what they're trying to do to guide you into ranked of like, okay, since just pubs is, ranked light, why don't you try ranked? But I don't know.
Boom, what do you think?
Who is Apex Legends community manager? Like
Jay Frechette.
I feel like I should know that person by now.
You
like,
don't see him around that much.
That's problematic. I think that there's a lot of really smart people working really hard on Apex, and that we deserve to have our questions answered.
Yep.
Like I should know the name. You know who the retired Hearthstone community manager from like 2017 to 2019 is? Ben Brode. I know who he is. He's incredible. He was a huge part of the community. He was tweeting all the time. He was answering all our questions. He was responding to really like shitty criticism, and he was one of the most celebrated, beloved figures in Hearthstone.
Dude,
still to this day.
Deej from Bungie, Destiny community manager. Yeah. He was always in the subreddit. He literally responded to one of my questions in the Destiny subreddit one day, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, this game
awesome.
and this community is absolutely like insane. Like, this is crazy. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
They're just cranking away some of these community managers, and like I think we all have our griefs with the game, but it's something that we all deeply care about.
Yep.
And I think I would accept not having solos in the game if I could just have a human reiterate that in multiple ways, time and time again. Like, they just need to have the patience to deal with all of these questions that we have. Because I bet I'll start to feel a lot better with ranked, or why is cross-platform not coming, or why should it come, or whatever. Why are golds and plats going into ranked? What are they doing about it? Anything? Is that what they want? It definitely feels like I'd feel better about it if I felt less in the dark.
Yep.
And we're just experiencing these things. And it's funny, anecdotally, it makes us feel like we're wearing tinfoil hats. But there's a difference between this ranked series and last ranked series. And all that we have to go on is like our own particular data points. It'd be nice if somebody could actually tell us like, oh, well, we're trying this thing where we thought it was a quality of life update for Preds and Masters, to put a 5-minute timer, and then we just start yanking in plats. Cool. That's what they wanted. Now I know. Instead, like it only makes us spiral into negativity, not knowing. So I think a little bit more transparency in a community manager would really pay dividends.
I remember back in the day when I used to play Dirty Bomb, there was it's so funny how you guys are listing off the community managers of games you used to play, because for me, Shu, who I'm still really good friends with.
Yeah, we played with him before.
Yeah, we know Shu. It's like
yeah, even you guys
are
know
community manager.
Yeah, we played with Shu. He had the custom PUBG lobby, and I'm still upset that we didn't play with him after that day.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Oh man, I love Shu, man. He's a good guy, but obviously he's not with that Splash Damage anymore. But like when he was, he did daily. He filmed the daily, or not daily, maybe it was like weekly dev updates. They did like dev Q&As and stuff like that. And I always thought that was pretty helpful. Even in Overwatch, I know they have community managers, but Jeff Kaplan, who wasn't a community manager, he was like a developer. He would spend a lot of time in the forums, just like replying to people with answers to their questions. And I don't know how often he does it nowadays, but at least when I played Overwatch, it seemed like every update, like he would have a developer developer update video on YouTube where they would like talk about the new season or the new patch and why they decided to do X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. It was super transparent. But I'm wondering if something happened with Respawn where maybe they don't feel like they can be as transparent or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There was just that notorious Reddit Q&A where one of the
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I believe that was a dev, called someone an asshat or something like that because they were being quite rude. It looks bad on the respawn side, but if you look at the questions they were responding to, which they should have just ignored, but people were saying some pretty mean things.
Yeah,
no,
I
get it.
But yeah.
I don't think, obviously, I don't know if their response was great, but at the same time, as someone who streams and gets asked the same question over and over and over and over and over again, and who deals with mean comments and stupid people in chat, I can imagine that multiplied by like 10, it could probably get to someone, I mean,
especially when it's your job,
Right.
By the way, Boom, is Candy going to stream tomorrow? Do you know?
Why
you know what? Let me get back to you.
Okay. Let me know. Boom, I'm in your stream right now, but let me know if Candy's going to stream tomorrow.
Hey, Boom, can you say hi to Poner for me?
Hey, Poner, so-and-so says hi.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Now, Poner, can you please give me a shout out, please? It's my 12th birthday. It's my 12th birthday, Poner. Come on.
Okay. You can have parents that love you. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I just don't have the tolerance for that shit. I don't care.
Me neither, man. Someone in my chat yesterday, or no, it wasn't yesterday. It was maybe it was yesterday. They were just like, it was a particularly bad day where it's like we just got a lot of the same questions, and someone who is a bit more mature was just like, man, I don't know how y'all mods deal with this, man. It's like you guys just get the same question over and over, and just like, yeah, it's just
that's what mod commands are for, though. Exclamation mark is Candy streaming today? That's something Boom should add. And he's got exclamation shitter now. I saw that.
I have that too. Who put that in there? I think it was Pork.
We're about to edit it to make it something more wholesome. It's funny enough that you mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a shitter command in my chat too. I don't know. I was like, who the hell put this in here?
I'm guessing it was Jordy or someone.
It might have been.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
God bless him.
I don't know. I've always been more. I don't know, Boom. You streamed for like 10 hours yesterday, and I find that I was gonna say admirable, but more like concerning.
Abomination. Yeah. No, it was few and far between. I don't know how people do a 24-hour. Like after 10, I'm like, I don't think I can ever do
sore?
it. It's funny. I remember like talking to you guys about how much my throat would hurt when I first started streaming. But yeah, I guess I've worked those muscles. And
do you have like a thing of water next to you? Because I need.
Oh, I hydrate hard.
Yeah, me too, man.
You have to.
I've always gravitated more towards YouTube, honestly. I think out of all of us, Boom is the most cut out one for this life, for this gig of Twitch streaming.
I'm patient. I've high threshold.
Yeah.
For BS. Perhaps the highest.
I'm like a marathon runner. I just keep going. I don't know. I like it. I'm glad you're streaming, Boom.
Thanks, man.
Did you apply for partner again? Or
yeah, they should be getting back to me pretty soon, actually.
Okay.
But I'm not too worried about it. It's like, it seems really, really hard to get. Like, I don't know. There are people like way bigger than me who are getting turned down. So I like it's a magician's hat as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure there is rhyme or reason, but I'll keep looking at it.
I'll be surprised. Numbers. Yeah, I'll be surprised if you don't get it this time around, honestly.
I don't know, dude. Anything can happen.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
The last two, dude, I was pretty confident. I was like, he's not gonna get it. I hope he does, but I don't think he's gonna get it. This one, I'm fairly confident you're gonna get it.
I don't know about that. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
True. Jokey, what else do you have? What's on your mind? I feel like we've ignored you as a guest.
I just like to play video games.
Great.
Excellent. Jokey, we shit. I should have prepared you because I caught Johnny Young a little bit off guard last time. And I hope that didn't rob him of, a more colorful story. I thought what he said was great. But usually what we're trying to do to wrap up what we're usually trying once before to wrap up the podcast is to ask our guest what one of their fondest gaming moments are. And I actually shared mine last time. So actually, to give you a little bit of time to think, if Poner or Candy,
Sure.
put them on the spot, if either of you would like to take your stab at it, and then Jokey could share, like fondest gaming moment, happiest memory relating to gaming. As you know, you have the floor. You know, as brief or as long as you need. What would that be for you?
So, Candy, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind sharing my moment.
No, you go ahead. I honestly am kind of panicking. I'm like, shoot, I hope they don't call on me because I honestly can't. I actually can't think of a fondest memory right now. Though I do remember last week I had one. I can remember one right now.
Okay. So there's two moments that really strike out in my mind, and the first, like what I would consider my fondest gaming moment, period, was probably the very first time that I entered the Vault of Glass in Destiny, and I played that raid with my friends on Xbox. We were severely underleveled to do the raid, but we tried it anyway, and we played it, and we got to what was called the Oracle phase, and we beat the Oracles, and then we beat whoever the boss was right after Oracles. I can't remember the name. And then we all had to call it for the night. So we're like, okay, like we got some loot, like we got some good guns. Like one of us hit a higher light level at the time. We're like, all right, tomorrow we're gonna get home from work. We're all gonna grind this. So and then we did, and we finally beat Atheon at the very end. And I just remember like we all put on the all white shader, and back then the raid didn't kick you out once you completed it. You could sit there for as long as you wanted to. So we all went to the very end of like the raid area behind where Atheon spawns, underneath the actual like the glass. There's like a little triangle shape, which is actually, no kidding, still my phone screensaver is that like artistic image of that. We all sat there, like we all laid down and sat there for like 5 minutes and just took a breather because it was such an intense experience with our white shaders on. And for some reason, that was just like something that really stuck out to me. It was just like something like a group of 6 of us. We coordinated our efforts. We figured something out that we didn't know how to do, and it was really hard at the time. But we got through it, and it was really fun. Like that was probably my favorite gaming experience of all time. I really felt like I went to bed that night and I was like, I really did something today. Um, my second favorite, and this is really close up there, was probably my first solo win in PUBG. I'll never forget the fight. It took me like a month of playing solos in PUBG to the point where I was good enough that I could actually like solo, because I had never played a first person shooter game on PC before, and I ended up winning with like 10 kills.
Dang.
And I killed the last guy because he was trying to run me over with a Dacia. I had an M16 on burst, and I just sprayed the fuck out of him. And I finally hit him in the head, and the game ended. And I thought I died at first because I had never won before, and everything froze, and it said winner, winner, chicken dinner. And it was like 3 a.m. on like a Saturday night, and it was my first solo win ever. I was just so happy, but I had to like keep it all inside. And I went to bed, and I woke up, and I looked over at Andy in the morning. I was like, I won my first solo game last night. And she was like, oh, is that why you're up so late? And I was so sad. But yeah, those are like probably like my top 2. And right behind that, I would say hitting the top 10 NA leaderboard with Boom. That was really rewarding, because that was like
nothing with me, Poner.
Nope.
Nothing with. Okay. All right,
Nope.
I'll just be over my corner.
Nope.
Call me when you need me. I'll be over
Okay.
here.
What about you, Joke?
Just playing games with you guys.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Here, Jokey.
Just playing games with you guys. No. So probably I would probably like clump them all together. So like I played a lot of video games. From Fortnite, right? Like the milestone that I kind of set for myself was to get 1,000 wins in Fortnite. I did that. And then kind of moving on. Well, I guess now going back, but playing, I think it was Battlefield Hardline. I did not like the game. Just all in all, like just like the gunplay didn't feel right. I didn't enjoy the game, but a handful of my friends loved it. And I said, all right, I'm gonna pick a leaderboard and try to grind it. And I picked coupe car kills, so I drive around in two-door cars and run people over. And I was number 1 in the world for like 3 months, just running people over with a 2-door car.
It sounds like something you would do, dude.
Yep.
That is illuminating.
Yep. I like I tend to like find a category that is enjoyable and attainable, and then I'll just go for it. And I'll just play a whole bunch just to like achieve that, right? Which we've all kind of seen with like Gibby finishers.
Yeah, are you ranked 1 yet, or are you still number 2?
I'm rank 1 on PC, number 2 overall.
Oh my god!
And this man started playing in season 3.
Right.
Oh my
So,
god!
I enjoy playing video games, so I just try to pick something that is fun to do, and I think like also like finding like tiny little challenges and tiny little games to like play while you're playing a game is helpful to keep playing the game.
Yeah.
With Call of Duty, I think it was World War II or just just a regular World War?
World
Or
at War?
World at War, yep.
Yeah.
So I had hip surgery the month that it came out. So I was off work, just at home. And I probably played 16, 17 hours a day for a straight month. And I was number 1 in the world overall score for the month. Like I just had more time to play than everybody else. And
Jesus.
I
My God.
achieved that, and I was like, all right, great. And the way that game functioned is like when you would load up into multiplayer, there would be like a lobby leaderboard for this like pre-queued queue, and I would always be number 1 on the list because I was like, top 100 in the world in like the overall score category. So it would always be my name and then like my player picture. So obviously I'd make it rather odd. But yeah, I mean, it was just like something to do. And then Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I had another hip surgery and I did the same thing, but it was in December. So it was like 2 months after the game came out. I had a hip surgery that like late November, had hip surgery. And then I just played nonstop for the entire month of December. And I was number 1 in the world for the month of December overall score. And like it was weird because like you would get into games, and because at that point, like it wasn't just playing the game mode that you wanted to play, it was playing the game mode that would get you the most score. And you would get into games with these other players that were also trying to do the same thing. And like they would know who you were. And like I didn't really care too much about like who was in my game, but I would get messages of like, like, how are you getting this much score? How are you above me? Like this, that, and the other. And it like ultimately just came down to like I had more time to play than them. I was out of work. I had hip surgery. Like I was out of work and I could play for, X amount of hours a day, and they could only play for 8 hours a day. So
It's like Apex ranked.
right, exactly.
Weird.
Exactly.
Full circle.
Yep. So I would say just kind of like clumping all of those in together, right? I mean, like I have a handful of things that like I'm proud of / happy of, right? Like that, like I achieved those things. And then like when I started playing Apex, I didn't know anything really about the game, back in September, October timeframe. And, I was like, well, what character do I play, or what character's the best, right? And obviously, Wraith and Pathfinder kind of came, with that. And it just was like, all right, well, you guys play Wraith and Pathfinder. I'll play somebody who's more like a support character, and I'll go for an odd category for that. So I played Lifeline, and I got, I don't know, like 600 finishers, because I was like, all right, well, let's find a category that I can try to like grind and do things with. And then season 4, Gibby got a buff, and I was like, all right, Gibby's my guy. And I just went for that, and I was just body slamming people left and right. And now I have don't know, 2,200 finishers on him. And
My God.
the span of, I don't know, 7 months, so it's just finding, those niche things to kind of like keep you occupied with the game. Because like games can get dull, but if you set like tiny milestones within a game to make it a little bit more enjoyable, and it's not just like winning, right? Like there are definitely games that we have lost because I was doing finishers. There are 100% like every day I would say there's at least 3 to 5 games that like me doing a finisher lost us a game. But it's pubs, right? Like who cares?
Couldn't care less.
Right, like we're just playing to have fun, and if we die, we die. Like it's not the end of the day.
I had over 400 season 4 wins on Wraith last season, so I think we're doing all right.
Boy.
Yeah.
I think Jokee brings up a good point, though. Like having other things you gotta do in game helps. I mean, it's what helps me stay sane with Apex. Like if you think about it, like every time I make a video, I'm like, all right, today's I don't know, Havoc day. We gotta get up a lot of footage of Havoc footage or whatever, So
broken gun, by the way.
Yeah, good thing for you. Every day is Havoc day.
What's today? Tuesday? Yep, Havoc day. So I don't know. Is that I think we're about wrapping up here, right? I mean,
I think that's an episode there.
This is a bulky
ship it.
Bulky episode.
Clip it and ship it.
Yep. It's got the Boom Poner Candy Jokee stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Like it. Oh, man.
Jokee, you feel like selling some illicit goods on GTA Online after this?
Yeah,
I gotta check up on my kid.
late.
Yeah, it's only like 9:30, so I got at least 7 hours ahead of me.
Dude, I'm tired.
Yeah, well, you're a father and I'm not.
Because you're getting old.
I'm gonna be a gamer and you're not.
I'll see you guys at 4 a.m. When I'm changing my kid's diaper.
Yep, feel free to add us in the Discord and be like, "Are you guys still awake?" Like, yes, Candy. I'll wake up at noon tomorrow.
Disgust me. Did I tell you? It's gonna initiate another tangent, and honestly, I think it's time to stop.
Okay.
We'll
Why
save it for next time.
don't you send it home here, Candy?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today, listening to our long, disjointed monologues about varying topics. I know we didn't really have a patch to cover or a guest. Okay, we did have a guest, but not like an interview style kind of podcast. Hope everyone enjoyed it nonetheless. I thought it was quite enjoyable. I really love talking to my good friends, Poner, Boom, Jokee. I mean, I don't know what else do you want to say. If you want to get in a circle and say a prayer or something, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you lead us?
Get out of here.
That's perfect the way it is, Candy.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, since Candy couldn't do it, this has been the 3 Stack podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Let the party start.
Let's go sell some cocaine.
In the game.
GTA.